Hi all, Gene from YCharts here, excited to show you what we came up with today. We're going to be focusing on portfolio construction tools. So before I've shown how YCharts can be leveraged for idea generation, identifying soft spots in your portfolios, and uncovering good funds or stocks to be able to increase returns or decrease risk. Today I'm going to be focusing on some mutual funds to replace a passively managed Vanguard fund that we had in one of our primary model portfolios, which you'll see right here at the top of my screen. Now, one great way to be able to do some portfolio construction is by taking just a quick glance at some visuals. So I'm going to start off in our fundamental charting tool. Over on the left-hand side of the screen, you can always add any securities that you want to be able to evaluate. I have some saved in my Quick Flows library, which is over here on the right-hand side of the screen. So let's go ahead and pull a few of those back in here. Great. Here's a one-year chart. Now, as you can see, that Vanguard fund that we have in our model portfolio is really lagging the rest of these funds in just pure performance. But that's not all that we like to look at as advisors, is it? A big component is going to be risk and drawdowns. Now, a lot of my clients really appreciate the ability to see max drawdowns over specific periods. Let's go ahead and take a look at that by focusing on the data format section within your left-hand side control panel. Currently, we're in a normalized cumulative change on the past year. Simply toggle that to the percent off high chart, and now you're going to see a drawdown chart right here. So you can see that none of these funds have recovered really over the past year from their previous drawdowns. I also like to really highlight the ability to do custom date ranges, so that way perhaps we can capture that market sell-off that happened in late 2018. So let's just go back a little bit farther here and do something like a 2-year look back. There we have it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use our annotate function in this upper left-hand corner here to be able to draw minimum lines for a couple of our funds. Let's do our Vanguard fund to start here. Just check on that box like so, and now you'll see that that fund had a max drawdown in the past 2 years of 20%. That really occurred right at the very tail end of 2018, and it still hasn't completely recovered from there. That's great to know. So not only have we uncovered funds that have better returns, but potentially have lower risk. If you want to take this out a little bit farther, you'll also see that that fund comes up again on a 5-year chart and even a 10-year chart. So now let's go ahead and see a little bit deeper on how we can take a look at these funds in a few different ways. Going back to Quick Flows on the right-hand side of the screen, we're in the performance chart currently. Since these are international funds, maybe we're interested in taking a look at some of the geographical exposures. So if I click on that, it's going to take us into the YCharts Comp Tables tool. I'm going to collapse the metrics that we have over here, and now you're going to be able to see a full breakdown of these international funds and how they're allocated geographically around the world. Let me take a quick pause so all of you can take a look at this. These metric sets are great because they come with any new client's account. So don't worry about having to build these out yourself. If you do want to build one, our awesome account management team can always help you with that. And I'm going to pull up a few that I have saved already in my account. Simply come up to metric sets, open up a new metric set, and you'll see that you can save any number that are important to you or your process. Let's just go ahead and take a look at some 5-year risk metrics here. There we'll see alpha, beta, that drawdown that we were just looking at in a table format, as well as standard deviation, Sharpe, and Sortino. These are great for being able to do quick analysis and further construct your portfolios and select the best securities to put into your models or into your client accounts. My personal favorite is a very comprehensive metric set that I've built out with one of my clients. It's going to be called a full fund analysis. This has every data point that I really care about when taking a look at these funds, and you're going to see all of those here. Everything from your expenses to your distributions to your returns and category ranks, all the way out to a very comprehensive risk set here. This is all great. One thing that always really sticks out to me are the rank and category and the expense metrics. Now, if you have those scoring models that you've built out, which allow you to create custom rankings, not only can those be leveraged in our screening tool when you're doing idea generation, but also in our comp tables to be able to select the best security from one of these short lists. So let's just go ahead and see if we can't find one that really makes sense for us. And I'm maybe just going to look at fees, returns, and risk. That will add that column over here on the far right-hand side. Now, depending on what you like to look at, you can hold each metric in its own regard. But what I like to do is take a look at something like this MDIJX. I'm familiar with MFS. Maybe a wholesaler has come into my office and has talked to me about this fund before, and I want to be able to evaluate it on an independent basis. Coming back into that funds overview page, you will have a ton of great information, mostly coming from Morningstar here in this page. You can download a nice one-page report. This is a PDF that will just open up and give you all of the key statistics that you would want in a nice printable overview report. A few other things to note here up along the top will be a few of these different tabs. The performance tab is great, being able to look at your annual time series return as well as different trailing periods, and then you'll also see some more of that upside and downside capture information along the bottom. These comps are always editable, so you can come in here, and if you want to be able to change those out, please feel free. That's one awesome thing about YCharts, is that you always have a lot of flexibility in the information and the comps shown. Another neat thing that I always like to show is this data tab. One of my favorite metrics is just looking at monthly rolling returns. So I'll just type that right there, and then we're going to see that in the drop down we have a 1 month total returns monthly. And now we can see how this fund performed on a monthly basis going back to its inception. This looks like a pretty strong fund to me. If we want to just evaluate this independently, we have it down as probably our best fund to compare versus that Vanguard fund. Always come back in here, just do one little spot check versus your original Vanguard fund. Make sure that it's doing well on a performance basis, also on a risk basis. This looks like a winner. From here, the only thing that you would have to do is really show this to a client and give that message on why you might be making a change in your portfolios. This can also happen with an investment committee if you are considering a change, if there's a fund or a security that really isn't living up to your expectations. So please keep in mind that this is just one area that YCharts can help you as an advisor. In addition to our idea generation and our client communication tools, I really appreciate you taking the time. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to YCharts, sign up for a free trial, and start digging into this yourself.